Hello and welcome to TechFunnel.com's interview series. My name is Danny White, and today we have the opportunity to talk to Spiros Margaris. Spiros is a venture capitalist and senior advisor who is also the founder of Margaris Ventures. He is the first international influencer to achieve the Triple Crown of influencer rankings as noted by Analytica. He is ranked as the #1 global fintech, artificial intelligence, and blockchain influencer by Analytica, the world's leading influencer relationship management SaaS platform that's been recognized by Gartner, Forrester, and other industry influencers. Welcome, Spiros. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about what you do in the fintech and insurtech space.
So basically, I'm an investor in several startups globally, from Berlin to America to Greece to London.
Mm-hmm.
And not only I do co-invest with other people, but basically my role as an influencer and investor is advising those founders on their strategy. I mean, when they request it, I don't impose myself on them, but I guess since I'm one of the top influencers, I have a good sense where the market is going, and it helps them also get an outside view.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're inside a company, you're very good at what you're doing, but sometimes you miss some global trends. And all I do is challenge them and say, okay, have you considered this? Have you considered what they do? It doesn't mean what I'm saying is right, but I'm very free of expressing my opinion, and I think people like that, I hope. and as I'm involved with some excellent startups like WeFox that basically just raised 125 million Series B round. It's the biggest insurtech company in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Invested in the cybersecurity space for sports events, live sports events, which basically it's called MediaStalk. It's a smaller company which controls about almost 100% of its domestic market, but going globally, etc. But I'm fortunate to work with great people, and I'm a team player. So when they ask for my opinion, I give it, and if I see things go wrong, I give it as well. But I never expect any of them to take my opinion and run with it. But I'm just an outside good voice. Did
Awesome.
that answer it?
Yes, everyone needs that person, that objective opinion as well, whether they take it or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in a world where people demand more personalized services, what type of a role do you think artificial intelligence plays within digital banking?
I mean, it's AI, machine learning. I would always mention together. Mostly we do more machine learning and deep learning and big data. I mean, in order to personalize services, you need the information, and without AI, machine learning, and the big data, I mean, it's very hard to personalize anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not only in the financial industry, in any industry, AI plays a key role of helping to further personalize things for me, for you, specifically. It's not about, we talk about big data, which is this, they always call it the fuel, the new fuel, and new oil of technology innovation or personalization.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard. It's more important to think not what people do, but why they do it. So that's why it's a difficult task. Why do people like certain things? And if you want to personalize things, you have to start thinking about those things.
Mm-hmm.
It goes even deeper than what we know personally, but it's very hard to find out why does he want this? Why does he want this simplified services? I mean, of course, we are all kind of spoiled, and we want simple solutions and the convenient solutions and convenient services. So here comes AI, machine learning, and looks at all these patterns, data, and tries to find some personalized solutions. I mean, it's very difficult to define this in this short time, but we all want personalized solution. We want our personalized car with a certain color, whatever. It's the trend goes into personalization, and I think eventually we will have apps that for banking service, Citibank, whatever, that will look very differently and feel very differently for everyone who uses it. It's only the brand that's going to stay there, but maybe eventually it will look and feel very different for everyone. And that's the way we're heading.
Definitely. So some tech companies are already on the path to taking a percentage of the AI space. How do small to mid-sized companies learn to compete in what's quickly becoming an AI-driven world?
I mean, they have huge advantages, small players. Small players are agile. They're startups or smaller companies. So they have to learn from big players, but they have an advantage over the big players. Maybe they don't have the money, the resources, but they're agile, they're faster. So they can implement things much faster. And if you implement AI strategy faster, that's a huge advantage. It's like this. I coined once this expression, which is in my early days of Twitter, like the tankers and the speedboats, which is used a lot. But I was probably the first one who coined it, and also with a picture. The tankers have the advantage of big companies that they're big, they can move a lot of things. But you have to play your strength, and your strength is being agile, changing things quickly, adapting to your customer needs faster. Because in a big company, before things change, even if they know what has to change, they have a lot of signatures, a lot of bureaucracy has to pass before things change. So don't copy the big players. Just look maybe at certain things, what they do. But I don't even, good point here. I don't even believe that the big players are a role model for smaller players to copy. They have to go their own path. And AI, machine learning, Internet of Things, 5G is a big topic for everyone. And I think you have to find out your way to mix those technology for your specific needs, because every company is different. But that AI is important is clear.
Got it. So in your daily work, do you find more small to mid-sized companies taking their own path, or are they trying to be like some of the giants in the technology world?
No, I think the small players, they all want to do their own thing. But they want to be one day a big player.
Yeah.
It's like, they don't want to be that player, but they want to be something. I mean, they all dream, of something big, of leaving a mark in history, and this entrepreneurial history. And, one day, to be the status quo, so to speak. But they don't want to copy the big players. Basically, they want to just do. Most of them, they think they're like young children who believe, the parents, the way they did it, it's all wrong. We have to do it our own way. And eventually, as they grow, if they grow, because a lot of startups go under, they will realize that they will face similar problems they see now with big players. It's not so easy to move a big ship around and be agile. But they all want to be big, and they want to be, but they don't want to be their big player. They want to be their own big player.
Got it. So speaking on a global perspective, how do the economies of the world keep pace with a global world that is being dominated by different innovations and technologies?
You see China, obviously India, and America doing a good job. Basically they realize the importance of investing in AI. AI is this big theme now, obviously, but there's more to it. Each country has to balance regulation in a way that fosters companies to grow. Why was the Fintech Hub UK so important globally? Because the regulators, the government, And the industry the politicians try to make it big. So they try to make it easy for companies to start, easy to try to, even if they fail. But that was part of the process, failing. But it's not that easy to answer, because if you look at China's extremely innovative.
Right.
But they have different approaches to privacy, to big data, where Europe, with the GDPR regulation, I think they want to protect people in terms of to give them back the right, what kind of privacy they want to give up and what they get for it. So what's good for the people, like protecting, your rights of your data, has also a disadvantage, because if other countries don't care about it, they'll probably advance faster. But it's very difficult. I think I don't say one or the other is better. I think I'm a big believer in privacy, a big believer that people should know what happens with their data. As they say usually, either you buy the product or you are the product. But people now slowly understand that they are also part of the deal. So maybe they want more out of it, But there's no free lunch. But I think countries have to take innovation and to foster and to promote innovation very seriously through regulation, through support, through, you have to be aggressive about it.
Absolutely.
You have to educate people as well. And also, we have to be careful not to leave people behind, because some people fall behind, because not everyone can jump on that bandwagon.
Right.
That's very fast.
So moving a little bit to the fintech space, the fintech space is still in some very early stages, but some fast-paced developments are happening along the way. What do you think the future of banking services will look like in terms of blockchain technology and the move toward increased mobility?
I mean, blockchain, maybe it's in, people talk about it a lot on the press, but blockchain is just a piece of it. Like AI is a piece of it, big data, Internet of Things, 5G. I think just look at all this technology merging into fintech. And banking will change. As I said, there will be more personalized. You will be more empowered. Whatever banking will evolve in, you will be more empowered. Things will become cheaper. People who didn't have access to banking will have access to banking, and for better fees. And eventually, you won't feel banking. It's just going to be there, like air. It's like, it's not now, not in 5 years, but maybe in 10, 20 years, things will just happen. You're not going to think about you will get your salary, it will be taken care of, you will feel how much you can spend. A lot of things will be taken care of. So you think less about it. It's just like music, like Spotify. It's like they will sense what your lifestyle is and will adapt your banking services accordingly. I think that's where it's heading.
Very interesting.
I love this. Yes, I think that's where it's heading. But initially, that's way future. But you will have much more information at your hand. Basically, you will know much more how to handle your finances and where you spend your money, and it will become cheaper.
Got it. If you were to create your own fintech startup, what are the main problems you would like to solve?
I think some startups already started that trend, thank God. I think helping the less privileged people to have banking service. They're unbanked, underbanked. For instance, I'll give you a study in England. They still have 1.2 million people who don't have a bank account.
Oh, wow.
They pay about £485. In US dollars, I don't even know how much it would be, but say about $600. I don't know exactly, but a year more than people who have bank accounts. So basically, people who don't have bank accounts in America, it's much more. They pay for things, they pay much more. They have less and they pay more. And I think that would be something. If I had a solution, or there are solutions out there, of course, but I think that would be something great to do, something that helps the unbanked people, because that leaves a great legacy.
Absolutely.
I think, as I said before, we have to really be careful not to leave people behind this innovation train, because that would not be a good thing for society. I mean, I feel very strongly about it. Even my TEDx talk, I talked about it a lot, how important it is to help the underbanked people.
Got it. By 2020, what do you think would have disrupted the financial industry, or is it too soon to tell?
Yeah, I think it's much too soon. I think the change will happen slowly, and each country has. I mean, in America, you still pay with checks. We don't pay with checks in Europe, in UK a little bit. I think things just change slowly. It's like, but people are much more aware of solutions out there. So AI will be a little more dominant. More companies will come into the space. So you will have alternatives for financial services. Remittances paying. It's already in Europe. It's a big thing. Payment will become even more prominent. Payment solutions, cheaper payment solutions. So I don't think 2020 or 21 or 22 we will see this big thing. But if we look back in 5 years' time, things will have changed a lot. But I don't think it's like life. Things change slowly. Like when you look at kids, if you're a parent, you don't see the changes as much. And when a relative comes after a year, say, "Oh my God, the kids, they grew so much over 2 years." And the same thing with the fintech space. If you're in it, like me, you get answers like I gave you now, maybe not very satisfactory answers. But basically, I don't see huge changes. But if I would look back in 2-3 years, oh my God, that fintech kid has grown quite a bit. I think that's a good point.
Absolutely. Very good analogy. So final question, what do you find to be the most exciting or the most interesting about the world you live in?
I think change. As much as for me, I love change because it changes things for the positive. I'm a positive thing. Most people are scared of changes.
Got it.
But it changes I see a lot, not all of it, are positive changes that empowers us, empowers society. And I think as long as there are a lot of people, the Gates Foundation, etc., who, for instance, who empower other people to do good through innovation, through changes, I think it will have a positive impact on society. I think we're all much more empowered than if we lived 100 years ago. We go to good schools. Technology empowers all of us. I think that I'm very excited to be in that space. I'm excited what it can do and what it does, and it excites me. I can't, sometimes, what happens next?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that thought. I mean, I'm in the space I am.
That's awesome. We indeed live in an exciting and very interesting world. Spiros, where can people find out more about your ideas and your work?
Mostly, you see a lot of things on Twitter, Spiros Margaris. It probably will be on the profile of the podcast. Twitter, you see a lot, or my website, margarisventures.com. But my Twitter handle, Spiros Margaris, you will see a lot of what I think and new trends I think are interesting to look at.
Awesome. Spiros, thank you for joining us today, all the way from Switzerland, stopping by to share some of your insights and thoughts with us. We really do appreciate your time.
Danny, thanks a lot for having me and make it so comfortable to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for listening to this interview. For these and other interviews and topics, you can visit us at techfunnel.com. You can connect with us across social media and subscribe to our weekly newsletter so that you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in the industry. Thank you.